there's a lot of tactical changes that you make during the game. Are you a proactive or reactive coach? Because are you seeing something that might happen, or you see opportunities, or you seeing that this is something that can happen against you? Can you maybe just explain the type of coach that you are? Because there's a lot of tactical changes in games, particularly looking at the reference, the game of Orlando Pirates, this one as well, against TS Galaxy. So what type of a coach are you?
I'm a coach that makes a great effort to try to be clever. Doesn't mean that I'm always, but I try. It's clear that there's always proactivity in the way you approach a match. So there's a way you want to play the match that has to do basically the way you want your team to play. But then there are small adjustments that you need to pass to the players that might happen due to the game, the style of game you're going to face, how the characteristics of the other team. I'll give you an example. We expected a certain kind of pressure over our build-up. So we position our fullbacks in a slightly different way according to what we expected. So that is proactivity in terms of how we're going to face the match. Then exactly that didn't happen. So there was a moment it was happening, but then it stopped to happen. And I had to give an answer. Why to have the fullbacks in one position? That is not necessary when it's not that the game is asking for. So in that moment, I'm reactive in terms of trying to give an answer that puts us more comfortable in the pitch. Today I had also to give answers to the level of fatigue that the team had. It was clear. There's one player that approached the bench at the 25th minute and he told me, Coach, today we are not feeling fresh to press the way we like to and the way you also want us to do. So I understood that putting numbers in the front, but then not having them not with the capacity to come back, or going there, but then not being strong enough to the duels or to at least reduce the possibility of playing forward from the opponent, that would be not clever. So I tried to be clever, and that's why I changed a little bit the structure. And we stayed more compact, and from there we could have more the ball, because sometimes you defend with the players, sometimes you have to defend with the system. That's how I feel. And sometimes with the players in any system you can do it well, but then there are some systems that help you in certain moments. That's what we try to do. I always think that I have to help the players as much as possible, but not always I do it well, because I also am a man, I also make mistakes. But most of the times the players, they work hard in order also not to expose my mistakes. And this is fantastic when you have a team like that. Because at halftime I told them, guys, today as a team, we're going to go until the end, but as a team. Let's understand the moments and let's be together, let's be everybody that will give the maximum, because that's how we're going to do the match. And that spirit is also wonderful to see, obviously, the commitment, because we need a strong commitment in order to overcome the difficulties that we had until the moment that we continue to have, because as you know, on Wednesday we play again and then on Saturday we play again. So, and then next week we play again on Wednesday and then we play again on Saturday or Sunday. And our players after that, 13 or 14 of them will go for national teams and continue to play matches. So this is an effort that sometimes you have matches like this. It's not possible to have an orchestra to play violin during all time. Sometimes you have to hold the violins and play some drums. This is also, and we need to adjust. And having an orchestra that can feel the different moments the game has is the best way to make a good music. Because in the end we need to win, and that's what I have also to look for the results. Let's hope we continue to help the players. That's my job. When I pray together with my players before the match, I always thank God and tell him, please help me to be wise. Help me to help them. Make me make good decisions. I always tell them that.
Thank you. Coach, any questions? In the first half, your team looked like a team that played too many games in a short period of time. And
she didn't look. It was.
Yeah, and Chiefs stifled the midfield in the first half, and your players didn't force their way in. They didn't force matters. Was there a conscious decision that you made to maybe let Chiefs overstretch themselves while you conserve energy, and then hopefully you use your moments and you get a result and then you manage it?
Yeah, we expected that Chiefs would overload the middle in order to put numbers. But we knew that also would give opportunities on the sides. And we have capacity by the sides, and that's how we scored. As you remember, their full back, because they had their midfielders all controlling the inside and the wingers controlling the inside, trying to close our build up in the inside. So their fullback was jumping on our fullback, but we knew that on that moment we had two men in the front. If we could attract one of the centre backs, eventually the other one could play the ball in the space. So Peter made that movement. Iker went on the space and received the ball there. That then he passed to Lucas to make the goal. So as I said, it's the players to interpret the things, because it was very hard game, very tactically, very well prepared by Coach Nabi. Pirates has also good players, and there's an emotionality always behind this kind of matches. It's clear that we don't want to highlight, because our players are already in the level of tension that the games require these kind of games. So my approach is always very low in terms of demanding, and just giving them the tools so that they can give an answer. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it don't. Today it went well, and of course I'm happy for that. But very tough game, very, very tough game.
Coach, what needs to happen to better manage the national team players from Sundowns, and also a Bafana perspective? When you look at the schedule that Sundowns is on, there's an AFCON, there's a Club World Cup. It's a scenario where, for instance, the likes of Ronan and Debaco could only get an off-season in 2028 if they go to the World Cup in the next AFCON.
Well, we have good communication with. I didn't understand if you asked what the national team should do.
No, he was asking the management of the players.
My work on managing the players.
And also because I think there's that article that you read where they said the players don't have enough break because of Bafana, AFCON and everything. That's how you manage that.
Regarding calendars, it's not up to me. What I know is that the World Cup is an important tournament for ourselves, it's an important tournament for the world, it's an important tournament for Africa in general. So I totally support the fact that there's this kind of competition. Obviously that it makes the schedule tougher, and that's a reflection that is not up to me. So the question in here on my job is always to manage contexts, and I have to give answers to those, because I don't control whatever happens in terms of features, and I just try to manage as much as possible the situations. But I have a big commitment in terms of managing the players in the best way. Obviously that we know that as much as we believe in all of them, they are not all equal. They are not all equal. And obviously that we have players that go for national teams, that they have also to perform in the national teams, because they also want to be there. They also want to be there. So we need to have a good communication. We need to give them as much rest as possible. I said last time, and I keep repeating it, training less now is training more. Training less is training more. Today was not a good match to bring us something for the future, because when you play the matches in the way you want to play regularly, that's also a good training session. But today the match was not played as we want to play. It was very strategical, and it was. And it means that from this match it will be difficult, for example, for me to look at it and say, okay, this moment, this, okay, let's show the players because this is the way we want to do the things. No. But also there are things that you can show the players in order to understand. In certain contexts we have to do this, because the adaptation to context in football is very important. Hard work managing players, but most effort not only from me but all the structure of the club, because there is a big group of people that is working hard in terms of managing the players, trying to work on them in order to avoid injuries, trying to work on them to recover from match to match. And we are trying to deal with strategies in order to, as much as possible, have the players physically available, but mentally on disposal. Because the fatigue here for the overload of matches is also very dramatic if you don't give them the opportunity to, even the presence of family. Imagine one of my assistants, he had a family during this week here, and he almost didn't see his family. They will go back to Portugal tomorrow, and his son was almost crying, Papa, I'm here for 1 week and I didn't see you, because we worked 2 days in Polokwane and then we came home, but then the other day in the morning, so we were here one day, 1 week. So for the players, it's also important that we can provide them some amount of freshness. It's very important.